Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B ward, this is Mortem. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD, and today we're going to give you our top 5 musical moments in horror.
Oh, I thought we were doing top 5 musicals. Like, I had like some...
I'm going to reach across.
I can't even make a joke about that. Like, that's how little I know about actual musicals. Like, I was going to be like, oh, I'm Andrew Lloyd Webber. I've got some Andrew Lloyd Webber on.
Yeah, well, these aren't musicals. These are actual moments when something iconic is happening while a song is playing.
Right.
The person may be singing the song, that's fine too, or just maybe a song's in the background while something cool is happening. Something that where the music, it definitely creates a vibe within these horror movies.
Right.
It's not Grease. It's not Rent.
It might get a little greasy.
Yeah, it might get greasy, but got a little obscure with the Rent there.
Yeah, that was.
I don't even know what that is, really. I just saw it on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I've seen Rent because the singer of one of my favorite bands was in an early production of it, and I went to go see him, and he was great, but the show is fucking terrible.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what isn't going to be terrible this week. Horror news.
Yeah?
Because I got some good shit coming up.
Awesome.
But before that, I just want to tell you a little bit about what happened this weekend.
What happened this weekend?
This. See my head?
Jesus fuck. I didn't even notice that until now. I try not to look at you usually, so...
I was in a barbed wire massacre match at UEW.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Looks like you're growing a horn.
Yeah, pretty much. And I may or may not have tried to have the first ever anal rape in a death match with a barbed wire bat.
Wow. May or may not, in the sense that like it may have
I tried to rape someone with a bat.
It may have happened elsewhere.
Yeah.
But
I tried to rape him with a barbed wire bat. With exposed ass.
Who was it?
Bobby Holloway.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He tried to stink face me with an exposed ass, so I shoved my thumb up his ass. And then he fell in some chairs, and I tried to put the barbed wire bat in his butt, but the ref got in the way, so I beat the shit out of the ref with the barbed wire bat over and over. And so that's how my weekend was spent.
Nice.
And I have some more wounds to show off for it. Add them to the collection of 1,000 scars I got going on.
For sure.
What were you up to this weekend?
Me? Child's birthday party. Which is kind of like a death
Polar
match.
opposites. The child's birthday party. The barbed wire massacre death match.
Yeah,
I feel like I had the better weekend than you, though.
A child's birthday party can be like a massacre.
It can.
Actually, no, this was pretty cool. It was Sabrina's birthday, Michelle's daughter, and she got this thing called Game Movers, where they bring
with the little
trailer.
Yeah.
And there's like 5 screens in there and enough couches for 16 people.
Yeah.
And they just play all kinds of fucking video games in
That's
there.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they had that shit when we were little.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, right. My parents would never pay for that shit.
Yeah, it was only
maybe you.
a couple
For
$100.
me, I could have Game Movers. We would draw on cardboard boxes. You know? We would draw TVs on cardboard boxes with Mario on them. A poor racist sketch of Mario.
Someone would have to crouch behind the box and go do 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 do.
So yeah. Now we're ready for some horror news. I'm ready for some horror news.
Yeah.
Are you? Okay, let's do it. Horror news. Can I start us off because I have some of the greatest horror news in postmortem history.
All right, let's do it. The fuck.
It's being reported that Vox president David Madden has stated he will have a major announcement soon in regards to the renewal of the X-Files.
I heard about that.
He has said the future seasons will be longer than the 6-episode returning 10th season we just got, but not quite as long as the 20 plus of the original season.
I didn't see the returning 10th season. Was it Mulder and Scully?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Dude, you haven't seen the fucking returning season?
I didn't have...
It's like a 6-part miniseries.
I didn't have, like, a TV at that time.
Dude, the best one is Mulder and Scully meet the were-beast.
Okay.
The best.
Is that the one where it's like an animal that's a were-human or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard
yeah,
about
he turns
that,
into a human.
Yeah.
It's fucking funny, dude. It's one of the best comedy X-Files of all time. But, if all goes well, and everything goes according to plan, we will see some new adventures of Mulder and Scully in 2018.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture where they face swap Mulder and Scully?
Yeah,
it
the
looks like a
synth
synth-pop band. If you put Gillian Anderson's hair on David Duchovny, he looks like Trent Reznor from Nine
Does he
Inch
still
Nails.
have a massive red bush?
I hope so. So I got some TV news too. Spike TV is now officially moving forward with the Miss Television miniseries. It is in production. It has been described as a twisted cousin to Stephen King's novel. It's going to have a 10-episode run, expected to be released later this year, and the show is going to be a blending of King's book and Frank Darabont's previous film, but with original detours, sort of like they did with the Fargo TV series. Producer Christian Torp has said that the show will not hold back on delivering the darkness. Darabont's film adaptation set the bar high, and they intend to live up to it.
That's fucking awesome. I'm glad that they're not going to, lower the budget, give us some shitty CGI tentacles and stuff. I'm going to watch the first episode with an open mind.
And Spike
before I break my TV.
Right. Spike TV has a little bit more freedom because it's one of those, like, extended networks.
Yeah.
So they can show some, like, fucked up
It's
stuff.
not
like,
NBC, ABC, that kind
like
of shit.
FX could, can show, tits and butts and blood on Sons of
If
Anarchy.
I don't get some hentai in the Miss TV series with a tentacle going up a vag, I'm out.
And it has to be a
That's
Japanese
what I need.
schoolgirl.
Yeah, a Japanese schoolgirl getting fucked by a tentacle. That's what I require.
Honestly,
from a Miss TV series.
they shouldn't make a Miss TV series. They should just make a Yurotsuka Doji TV series. Legend of the Overfiend, penis tentacles destroying the world.
What's the one? Blue something? What is it called? The classic anime. The Blue Girl.
Yeah, Blue Girl. Actually, Yurotsuka Doji came out first. That was like the original penis tentacle anime, and then there was
maybe that's the
Blue
first
Girl,
thing I ever saw that was like that. Just like,
and then there was Bible Black, where they had penises inside of their vaginas that came out so that they could have sex with women, and then they would impregnate them with tentacle penis beasts.
Kind of like the sandworms from Beetlejuice, or the alien, the xenomorph, where the other one comes out of it. The little... You got a big face, a big scary face, with a little tiny big face that comes out to you that's also scary.
Sandworm vaginas.
That's our rating system.
Right there.
Sandworm vaginas. Yeah. All right. We're ready to go. Is that it for all you got to say about that?
That's what I got to say about that.
Last week was Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
In honor of our horror holiday, something a lot of us fans of the iconic franchise were not aware of, we all know of Kane Hodder playing Jason, as he was the only actor to play him more than once. However, what a lot of people, including myself, didn't know was in Friday the 13th Part 2, the first time we got to see the adult version of Jason Voorhees, he was played by a woman. Ellen Letter.
Really?
She was the costume designer on Friday the 13th Part 2, and the first time we see Jason's legs, it doesn't show his face, it shows his legs walking. It's her.
Huh. So Jason has girl legs.
Yeah. Stuntman Steve Daszkowski plays him for most of Part 2, after the fact. But I thought it was a cool piece of trivia in the history of the Friday the 13th series that the first time we ever see adult Jason is with high heels.
That's very progressive. It's especially relevant.
He comes right out of the lake wearing stilettos.
So like, what if you were in a Target bathroom and like a transgender person walked in there and started peeing at the urinal, and you're like, "Hey, you can't be in here," and then they turned around and it was like, "Shh, shh." They're wearing a hockey mask and had a machete. That's what people are really scared of.
Yeah,
that's the real problem.
Yeah, they're scared of Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, reasonably so. So, what did you watch anything special for Friday the 13th?
I did not.
I watched something incredibly special.
What?
Halloween Havoc 91 with Abdullah the Butcher in the fucking electric chair.
That's awesome. This is the best bad wrestling of all time.
So, a few weeks ago, I talked about an upcoming movie called The Bornless Ones. It looked to be a new spin on the Evil Dead concept. The reviews are starting to come in on the pre-release. Reviews are positive. The movie's being praised for its, quote, downright nasty special effects, according to iHorror. Mostly practical effects, good overall production value, It's being reported that the movie is living up to the hype by delivering the goods on over-the-top gore. Bloody Disgusting said that it appears much more polished than most indie horror, and that the director knows what he's doing behind the camera. And while no spoilers have been given, it's being reported that though the movie puts forward a direct homage to Evil Dead, it does some very definite things towards the end to set it apart from the source material. So the Boneless Ones is hitting video on demand February 10th. That's the news because we didn't know what the date was before.
Okay, cool.
It's getting really good reviews. I'm excited for it.
I got something else coming up in February.
Yeah?
A new 4-part anthology series called XX will hit select theaters and on demand in February 18th. The segments will be directed solely by a woman. Jovanka Vukovic, Karen Kusama, Mary Herron, and Jennifer Lynch.
Those are all good directors.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Mary Herron to return to horror after giving us the 2000 adaptation of American Psycho.
Yeah.
But I'd be maybe most excited about Jovanka Vukovic's segment, which is going to be an adaptation about Jack Ketchum's story, The Box.
Okay.
All the Jack Ketchum movies so far have been excellent.
Right.
You know, they've got progressively better with the woman being the best, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. The Lost, maybe second. Girl Next Door is also fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And Offspring being probably the least, but still good.
Right.
So, anthology horror is on the upswing with the ABC's of Death series and Holidays, just to name a few. As you know, I love anthologies.
Yeah.
And making 4 parts rather than 26 parts like the ABC's of Death could make it better with character development and story.
Right.
Or it could make it worse if the ideas don't have what it takes to go with the longer format.
Right.
Just only time will tell on this one.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic, though, because with the talent the 4 directors have and the inclusion of Jack Ketchum as one of the stories, it would be hard for this one to fall flat.
Yeah, for real.
So, XX.
And those are all experienced directors, so
Yeah.
we're not getting directors who are just breaking in and don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's going to hit on demand and select theaters February 18th.
Nice.
And we will be reviewing it.
Fuck yeah. So we shared some of this on our Facebook page earlier, but a digital artist named Bitmassive has released some projects to YouTube where he's adding blood and gore to classic clean films.
Yeah, I love that. I saw that.
Yeah, over Christmas he released scenes from Home Alone with blood and gore added, and has recently added scenes from Back to the Future, all with a liberal amount of splatter added. The effects are, of course, 100% digital, but they look great. And that begs the question, if this guy who's adding gore to these films that were made 15 years ago on his computer at home can make splatter that looks decent, why the fuck can't Hollywood do it?
It's true. And Biff Splatter.
Yeah.
Biff Tannen. That's how Biff got his name.
Yeah, last time we had Biff Splatter, Bailey got pregnant.
That's very true. It was horrible. That kind of splatter will never happen again, though, because I hung him by his balls. I put on my executioner mask. I tied a tiny little noose around his tiny little balls. And I hung him upside down for 14 days until they rotted off, and he fell to the floor in a heap of blood, exhaustion, and pain.
Derp.
And derp, yeah, a heap of derp. It's a good grindcore band name, Heap of Derp. That's my next band. The Heap of Derp. Yeah, that's it for horror news.
That's what I got.
We will be coming back with the good movie and the bad movie after this.
Sunday!
It's SenCal Pro!
Returning to The Graduate.
February 12th, 2017.
990 Industrial Way, San Luis Obispo, California.
There's going to be headlocks.
Headlocks. There's going to be bumlocks. I'm going to do the first ever bum lock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to choke someone's ass out?
I already did the thumb up the ass. I've already tried to fuck a man with a barbed wire bat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is wrestling.
Yeah. But what we're going to bring you is every title will be defended.
Tag team titles, 5 cities
Five
titles,
cities.
heavyweight title.
And a special pumpkin patch death match for the 5 cities title. This is going to be a good fucking show. We might joke, but this is serious business.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We've got some big announcements coming up.
Yes, we do.
Be there for SenCal Pro.
Pro.
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
It's like a Butterface version of movie reviews. There's some bad, there's some good.
Right. Put a bag over one side. And
It'd be much more awkward if the face was the good part and the body was horrible.
Right. Like a butter ass or something like that. like the face is great, but the ass looks like a baboon's ass.
Okay. Let's get to some fucking horrible cinema.
All right, let's talk about some bad movies. My bad movie is a 2016 supernatural horror directed by Craig McMahon called Dead Ring. So this is one of those movies that's on Amazon Prime and doesn't even have an IMDb page.
So it's like a 0.3? Or
Right.
what?
I didn't know that going into it, or I wouldn't have watched it at all.
Yeah.
Now that I have watched it, I'll say that I've actually seen worse. And this is the kind of the movie that you might want to show like a young kid that's just getting into horror, but it's definitely not like a good horror movie that an adult wants to sit down and watch.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, fuck. I was giving Netflix the business a couple episodes ago. It's like, fuck you, Netflix. Why are you putting all this bullshit out there?
Yeah, at least
don't
let-
even put it on there if
Yeah.
it sucks. If it's that bad, don't put it on there. I know you want content. I'd rather pay for something that, no matter what I watch, it's good, but has like half the fucking movies.
Like Chiller or something like that.
Is Chiller that good?
Chiller's better than Netflix in terms of its horror selection.
So
but it's
four
no,
times as good as Amazon Prime.
Yeah, because at least Netflix has some curation to it. Like anyone with a fucking internet connection and a shitty movie can put their movie on Amazon Prime.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and there's no warning. Like there should be like a black box warning on like
There should be a different section like user uploaded movies
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
Shit. Like, you know, like we're always a supporter of independent horror
Yeah.
and stuff. But if it sucks, we're gonna tell you that it sucks.
Yeah,
you know, it
and
sucks.
you know there are days where you're willing to take a risk.
Yeah.
You know, and watch something that could be awful but could be awesome.
Yeah.
But you know there are some days where you need a fucking movie for your show to talk
Yeah.
about, or you know you've only got a couple hours a week because of work or whatever, and you
Yeah.
don't want to sit around and watch something that's fucking awful.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, there should be like a section for that. I'm gonna write Amazon a letter since they're sponsoring us.
I had the worst fucking losing streak of all time. I watched 8 movies in a row that were fucking horrible to get my good movie this week.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm running out. I'm running out of good movies.
Yeah, you're
This
bleeding
segment's
dry.
gonna die soon.
Well, fortunately,
Seriously.
we've got a lot of movies coming out this year, so
Yeah, it's true.
we'll have to.
Hopefully some are good, because if they fucking suck, then it's not gonna help.
Right. It's just going to make things worse. It's going to exacerbate the situation. So, anyway, let's talk about Dead Ring. Synopsis of this movie is that after the death of her parents, Emily, a young agoraphobe, sees an unconventional therapist who tells her that in order to purge her fears, she must summon the Dead Ring. The therapist gives Emily an enchanted bell and tells her to make a picture of her darkest self, but then warns her that she has to be stronger than the dark half. Emily goes home and creates a photo mosaic of herself, which comes to life as a retarded but kind of hot goth doppelganger, eventually named M. Emily tries to teach M to be human, but finds that the more time she spends with the dark half, the weaker she gets, eventually realizing that she has to kill M in order to survive.
That actually sounds cool.
It sounds very cool,
Yeah.
which is why I watched
Kind of
this.
like my movie last week. Like, you're like, what do you mean this is a bad movie?
Right.
After I told you about the naked skiing in front of Special Olympics kids.
Yeah.
Or Make-A-Wish kids.
That's a great idea. I mean, if that was just the movie right there, that would probably be the best movie of the year. Yeah, this movie, it looked good on paper, and the art was kind of interesting. It looked like, you know those horror high dolls? That it's like the Frankenstein Barbie dolls and things like that.
Monster High.
Monster High, yeah.
My kids, my girls like that shit.
Yeah.
And I don't have the heart to tell them that it's bullshit.
Right. It kind of looked like a human version of that, but yeah. So the story, as you get into watching it, is a fucking mess. I feel like the writer had no idea what story he wanted to tell. Was it a horror movie? Was it a fairy tale? Was it a buddy movie? A family film? I have no fucking clue, because every few seconds the tone of the movie was changing. Apparently this guy's main body of work is family films sold exclusively through Walmart, so maybe that's why it felt like every time he touched a horror theme, he immediately veered away from it. But it was frustrating to watch because like every few scenes I'd just be like, what the fuck is happening?
The new film from Samuel Walton.
Exactly, yeah. I didn't know that Walmart was producing its own family films, but apparently Craig McMahon is making these movies.
Sweet.
The
Any relation to Vince?
Probably not, no. It was this guy all
Do they have
along.
the same walk?
Flailing
Got that
the
same
arms.
flailing strut?
They both had their heads shaved by Donald Trump.
Is his son also Hornswoggle?
Yes. That part is true.
Okay.
The action,
That's a real Hornswoggle's real father.
yeah, that would be funny. So the acting in the movie actually wasn't horrible. It wasn't mind-blowing, but I've seen worse acting in movies that actually have Wikipedia articles that have been written about them. I'd say it was on par with an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Savannah McMahon, who played both Emily and M, seems to have some range in her, because she played Emily as kind of callous and selfish, and played M as innocent and kind of pathetic, complete with like cerebral palsy hand motions when she was first born into the world.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's the Donald Trump reporter hand motion?
Yeah, exactly.
It's never a good look.
Yeah. Especially for like a death metal goth girl. Like she had like a black dress and like knee-high boots and like corpse paint and black hair with a Betty Page cut. Like she was kind of hot, but then she was doing palsy hands. So
That kind of makes her a little bit hotter.
a little bit, yeah.
I've never been jerked off by someone with a palsy hand.
That could go one of two ways.
It could be
Actually,
awesome.
that can go all over the place.
It could go many ways, not one or two. Multi-directional. It's like a manual transmission versus the automatic. The automatic just goes up and down.
Right.
The manual, you got different ways you can go.
You can throw it in reverse every once in a while.
Yeah, you got 6 settings of pleasure.
But when the wrist folds in on itself, like you could fuck the wrist fold.
I'm willing to try it.
Yeah.
Never say never.
So the problem wasn't the characters, the acting, it was the script and the direction. And if this chick worked with a better writer, she'd probably do good things, but she's married to this one, so I don't see that happening. The problem was that M was supposed to be the dark twin, but aside from looking like Susie from Susie and the Banshees and eating Emily's goldfish because she was hungry and didn't know any better, she didn't do anything particularly dark. I ended up feeling more sorry for her than anything else. And in fact, by the end, she was like acting self-sacrificing and wasn't dark at all. It was more like Emily was the dark half and M was the light half, which would have been a cool twist if they ran with it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And instead, it was just a confusing mess. But I do have a note on this. And for all horror movie makers that are out there listening to this, because I know millions of you do, can we please declare a moratorium on naming chicks in horror movies Emily? Seems like every time you have a kind of goth chick in a movie, like 9 times out of 10, she's going to be named Emily. It's all because of that Emily the Strange cartoon with like the little goth girl with the slingshot and the black cat.
I prefer Ruby Gloom.
Ruby Gloom.
Ruby
Gloom.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Stop naming him Emily.
Ruby Gloom probably formed Kaylee's personality. She used to watch the show all the time as a kid.
Nice.
That's why she's so awesome.
Yeah, that works. One of the things that really, really stuck out about this movie, though, was the music. That was probably the best part about it. It had this like kind of whimsical, circusy music that felt out of place because some of the production was cheap, but it was cool sounding. And unfortunately, it was credited to, quote, musicians from around the world. So I'm thinking what happened was this like up-and-coming wannabe composer came in, made this awesome music for this movie, saw the final product, was like, I don't want my name on this shit. So like they Alan Smithied it.
The Alan Smithy technique.
Yeah. So my final synopsis on this movie is that it was a movie entirely ruined by shitty writing, probably by someone who doesn't actually understand horror. The acting, the directing were capable, but the shoddy and inconsistent story fucked everything up. And there's a lot of people out there that think that horror is easy and that you can just crap out anything, slap a horror label on it, and people will forgive you. It's not like that anymore. Like, there's enough good stuff out there to prove that good horror can be made. This kind of shit does not need to be made. So, I'm going to give it 3 out of 10. Sandworm vaginas.
Yeah. A vagina inside of a little vagina. Both have eyes.
You know that Family Guy character Bruce? The like, oh no, gay guy?
Yeah.
There's a great little cutaway bit that they do where he's the queen alien. And like, then the little mouth comes out of his mouth and it's got his voice too. I like to eat people. Sometimes I like to eat them with my little mouth.
That's fucking
No,
awesome.
little mouth, you get back inside. I'll call you when we're ready. Zoop!
That's the best thing Family Guy ever did, probably. My Bad Movie, 2016. Written and directed by DJ Caruso, starring Kate Beckinsale.
Is that like David Caruso as a DJ?
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red hair, showing his ass on TV.
Don't interrupt me saying the name Kate Beckinsale, because that's the best part about this movie. Mel Radio, Rado, Lucas Till, The Disappointments Room. Have you seen this?
I have not. But the name matches the movie?
Yes, it was a disappointing movie that may have been filmed in a room. Architect Dana, her husband David, and their son Lucas move to an isolated manor in the countryside, seeking a restart of their lives after the death of their baby daughter in a tragic accident. Dana overhears noises in the attic and finds a hidden locked room. Soon she finds the keys and is haunted by the evil spirit of an old man. She researches and learns that old rural houses had disappointments rooms where retarded and deformed children were locked to avoid embarrassment to their traditional families.
Oh.
Which, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
So I give this movie a lot of points on concept, but the execution isn't there. So further, the spirits of the original owner of the house, Judge Blacker, and his daughter are still trapped in the house. However, only Dana is capable to see and contact them, and David believes she is delusional. When Judge Blacker threatens the life of Lucas, Dana tries to protect him, but she is not sure of what is reality or a daydream. Kate Beckinsale is still smoking hot and blonde in this, with an American accent.
Huh.
However, the kid is like a Babadook type of annoying.
Oh, fuck.
He finds an old cat and says he told him he would protect him. According to the nosy ice cream lady, no one has lived in the house for a long time. Dana finds an old armoire in the attic that they can't open, but she's very interested in finding out about, complete with creepy music and lighting to let you know this will be a plot point. Of all the characters are unlikable. She's a bitch to her husband. He's kind of a douche. The handyman they hire is always trying to get in their pants. Although the characters are not sympathetic, the ghost story elements are well done, and although there isn't much gore, it is practical and well executed. The concept of the disappointments room for deformed kids to be locked away is scary and sad at the same time because it was a real thing, just like I said. The movie has a lot of flaws and it's not going to be one of my top picks of the year for sure, but it's better than most of the shitty new horror movies. Like 75% is what is on Netflix and 90% of what is on Amazon.
Right.
So for that reason, even though IMDb gives it a 4.0, I'm going to have to say it's 4.4 sandworm vaginas.
Wow.
Pretty concise review.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say a lot about it because much things would be spoilers, you know. But
Does Kate Beckinsale at least wear tight pants in it?
not so much.
Damn it.
But if you look up a 1995 or 1994 movie starring her, she does show her breastises.
Yes. Yeah.
Breasticles.
Breasticles.
Breastises. But yeah, that's it for my bad movie.
All right. Let's get into some good movies. Cleanse our palates here. My good movie is a 2013 Hong Kong action horror directed by Juno Mack called Rigor Mortis. A huge fan of the kung fu horror / Jiangxi Chinese horror movie genre, with Mr. Vampire and Spooky Encounters being two of the pinnacle films of that genre. So when I heard that there was a modern take on those films featuring stars from both of those two movies, I had to check it out, and it did not let me down.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
Oh, beer wench. We have Big Clay, Sencal Pro Superstar, in the studio here. He said if I needed a beer, he would go get it for me.
He's the sexiest beer wench in the B ward.
He is. Sexy beer wenches of the B word. Sounds like a 70s exploitation movie.
It does.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Continue.
Yes. Synopsis of this movie is that a down-on-his-luck aging actor moves into a dilapidated apartment building haunted by many spirits. After an unsuccessful attempt at suicide, he develops the ability to see ghosts. He befriends one of the residents, a descendant of a Taoist vampire hunter, and learns that a dark priest is conducting a ritual in the apartment building that's increasing the spiritual activity while also creating a Jiangxi, which is a Chinese vampire. When the vampire breaks loose, it goes on a killing spree and becomes even more powerful after being possessed by a pair of twin malevolent spirits that live in the building. And it's up to the actor and the vampire and the hunter to stop the monster.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. At face value, this was a standard Hong Kong horror action film. They always blend a bunch of different monsters who are somehow linked in a kind of convoluted plot that can only be kung fu'd into submission.
And it's also like, it blends genres a lot
Yeah.
of times. There's like comedy, there's horror, there's
Yeah.
action, a little bit of romance.
Yeah.
You know, they have a lot of genres when they do those.
Yeah,
fucking-
and usually the Jiangxi movies play for laughs because it's just a silly concept, like the hopping, colorful vampires.
Yeah.
Thing about this one is that they didn't play it for laughs. They went...
Made it unique, then.
Yeah, they went for the grit value, because below the surface, this story is more about loss and mourning. Everyone in the film has lost someone or something important to them, and the way that the spiritual energy in the movie interacts with each character is based on that loss. So they took out the laughs and upped the ante on the fantasy and supernatural aspect towards the end. No slapstick silliness, but it still worked.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, because they used the actors from those movies in the 80s, but they're all old now. And so they're all, like, kind of haggard and smoking cigarettes, and, like, you recognize, you know, the hero from Mr. Vampire is essentially playing, like, a broken-down version of himself in this movie, and, like, the priest from Spooky Encounters is playing, like, a real-world version of a dark priest in this movie.
Yeah.
It was very cool. And the acting was great across the board. Every actor was a veteran of Hong Kong cinema, except for the little kid, because he was a little kid. And they all
He's
brought...
not a veteran? His fetus was
as
seen before she was showing.
They all brought their eccentric characters to life with really deep and really nuanced performances. Everyone, even the crazy bad guy, had understandable motivations, depth, and some kind of pathos to make them interesting. The direction was excellent. Really, really creepy stuff going on in the movie. A lot of it was a blend of real action and CG, but instead of just having like a CG monster in a room, the whole room would kind of get a little bit CG'd here and there, so that it kind of had this dreamlike, blended-in feeling to it.
See, you like that. Like, you liked that in that fucking Abattoir movie, which I hated it.
It was way better than Abattoir.
Good.
It was, it just kind of gave everything a dreamlike feel. Towards the end, it got to be a little bit too much, because they really went, like there were parts where, like, some glass cracked, and they put CG cracks in the glass.
Oh, God.
But,
you know, sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off or go on a major tangent. I'm going to go on a quarter of a tangent.
Okay.
Bloody Disgusting. There's supposed to be this article saying, Abattoir,
I saw that.
the best movie in 2016 that you never heard of. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? I love you, Bloody Disgusting. Please come back to me. Continue.
One thing they did, though, well with CG was they had CG fire that looked good. Like, there's a part where the guy caught fire, and he's walking around on fire, and it looks like he's actually on fucking fire. And I had to, like, stop the movie and kind of, like, get close to the screen and look at it and be like, whoa, that's CG fire.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
They pulled it off somehow in 2013.
Maybe if it's, like, a person on fire, it might look better. Well, you know, what was the fucking Cronenberg movie? Maps of the Stars, the fire. You know, that was horrible CG fire on a person, but... Mainly, to me, the CG fire that looks bad is when the room is on fire.
Right, and it's everywhere.
Because the room doesn't react.
Right.
At least the person flailing and jumping around will distract
you.
Well,
he wasn't, because it was a vampire, and it, like, didn't really affect him, so he was just walking while on fire.
Oh, and it still looked good?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
The rest of it, though, there was this, like, cool blend of graphics and makeup, very, very good physical acting, that really, really brought out everything that was going on in special effects. Everyone reacted to everything appropriately. It was not clear at any point that they were on a green screen stage, working with some CG stuff and then pretending to react to it. And it was because they clearly had the actors who were doing, like, physical contortions on set, doing their physical contortions, and then they modified them with the effects. So this is a really solid, serious take on a genre that usually used comedy to hide its shortcomings. And aside from some of the dodgy computer imagery and a 2-minute sequence at the very end that pissed me off, that I'm not going to give away because it's kind of a twist, but I didn't like it. The rest of it was very good, so I'm going to give this movie 8.5 out of 10 sandworm vaginas.
Okay, man.
It's on Netflix. You can watch it there. It's Cantonese subtitled, so be prepared to read. But the dialogue is actually important in this movie.
Wow. Well, I will check it out, though. Surprised it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's been on Netflix for a few years.
Yeah, but like Mr. Vampire, all that stuff, like doesn't get enough press. So.
Right.
My good movie is a 2016 horror comedy directed by Vincent Masciale, starring Lucas Neff, Caitlin Stasey, Chris Marquette, and Stephanie Drake, with cameos by Patrick Renna, who's the fat kid from The Sandlot.
Yeah.
And he was also the vampire in the pizza delivery vampire X-Files.
Yeah.
Abigail Breslin from Zombieland, she was the younger.
Yeah.
And Richard Rail, who's the mustachio dude who owned the drive-in on Chili-Rama, and he's been on everything else. So.
Yeah.
He owned the drive-in on Chili-Rama, he's been on fucking...
He's a character
Mysterious
actor.
Skin. That's his most disturbing role. Have you ever seen Mysterious Skin?
Yeah.
That shit's fucking... He's very disturbing.
Yeah.
Fear Inc. You heard of this? Fear Inc.?
No.
Like Fear Incorporated.
Right.
Basically. Fear Inc. follows a company of degenerates who can be hired for a premium to bring your greatest fears to life. But when horror junkie Joe Foster's customized scare seemingly begins, he and his friends must decide if this company is there to scare them or to make them pawns in their own sick game.
So it's like a movie of like Blackout.
Exactly.
Or the game, like a horror version of Michael Douglas's The Game.
Exactly. So basically this is a take on the immersive and extreme haunts like Blackout, Heretic, that we talked about when we had my buddy Jason on the show.
Yeah. Heretic ended. They're not doing anymore.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
We never got to experience it. And he kept telling me, this is the last one, this is the last one. I'm like, dude, I'm wrestling that night.
Right.
I can't do it. That was the night of the Barbed Wire Massacre
Yeah.
match. So, lead character Joe is pretty cool, has a good sense of humor. When Joe goes to a haunt with his girlfriend, he says it's not good enough. Overhearing this is Patrick Renna, the fat kid from the Sandlot. Gives him a card for Fear Inc. When they go to a party with his best friend and his wife, he brings up Fear Inc. and his best friend says, "Oh, my boss did that. It was way too intense. Don't do it." He says they even do stuff like hurt people. Like any reasonable person, this makes Joe want to do it even more.
Yeah.
He decides to call the number, but is told they are sold out. Then strange things start to happen around his house. He finds a note written in blood that says, "It begins, your life ends." And then a guy comes out and chokes him and headbutts him, saying, "Little pigs, let me in. Not by the hair on your chin, chin, chin." They try to shake it off and party the next day.
I'm picturing it in my head as the dude from the Ice Cream Man.
No, Clint Howard.
Yeah,
Is not
Clint
him.
Howard,
No,
yeah.
that would be so much better. But it's like a guy with a beard. He looks like a hipster guy.
Okay.
Or he looks like a homeless hipster. So they try to shake it off, party the next day, but when it comes back, the TV turns itself on and says there's a news broadcast saying Joe is wanted for murder, freaking the four of them out. So he confesses that he called Fear Inc. After the power goes out, he sees his neighbor, the mustache guy, Richard Rail. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Riehl. And the killer kills him, the neighbor. And he goes, "Oh, that looks so real, dude." That's his response of his neighbor being killed. And that's his response to all this shit. He's like, "Oh, this is fun." He's like
But it's all actually happening?
It's all, yeah, well, you'll see.
Okay.
But you gotta watch it.
Alright.
You'll like it.
Is it on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix. I can let you borrow it. Experience gets super intense, and Joe finds out that he got more than he bargained for. There's a lot of twists and turns in this movie, and that was a really pleasant surprise. I did not think this movie was going to be so good. You know, watching it, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I guess I'll watch it, you know.
Right.
And hopefully it won't be my bad movie, because like I said, I had fucking like 12 bad movies, and I need to find a good movie. God damn. Never find a good movie. With a name like Fear Inc., I would have never fucking watched it.
Yeah, it's like fear.com.
Yeah. If not for a review I saw. That's why I found this. I saw a review that was favorable. I'm glad that I saw it when I did, and it was much, much better than The Houses October Built.
Nice.
You know, that was the other immersive haunt movie.
Right.
IMDb gives this one a 5.6. I'm going to give it a 7.7 sandworm vaginas.
So this was the movie Houses October Built should have been.
This has a lot more comedy. This is funny.
Okay.
It's because the lead character, his reactions, he's like, it does get super serious. It's not all comedy, but the comedy that they throw in, I thought was well executed. It was funny. It was at a point like, what's going to happen?
Right.
It kept me on the edge of my seat, wondering what's going to happen. A 7.7 Sandworm Vaginas is a pretty good rating,
Yeah.
you know, for a modern day horror movie, and I would say I would recommend this.
Cool.
Check it
Looking
out.
forward to
That's
yeah.
why it's my good movie of the week. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it was passable. And if you're into the immersive haunts, you know, and that kind of shit, like haunted house, extreme horror, paranormal, that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
check it out because it's a parody of what people like to go to, like the Heretic and the Blackout and that kind of shit. So.
This on Saturday when we were at Sabrina's birthday party, I was talking with Michelle, and her friend sets up a haunted house every year in her front yard to like scare the neighbor kids and stuff like that.
Much like myself.
Yeah. But she like starts out like in September and like really like gets into it. She's got some money to put into it. So we were talking about that, and then we started talking about the immersive haunts and like Blackout and Heretic and all that. And I guess Sabrina heard us talking about it because she came up to me afterwards and like asked me what we were talking about, and I was trying to explain to a 9-year-old like what this was without like totally terrorizing her. But the more that I started like kind of trying to like lightly explain it to her, her eyes kept getting bigger and bigger, and she wanted to know more, and she wanted to know more. What else do they do? What else do they do? And then I ended up having to explain to her what waterboarding was. Michelle takes it well. She's a good sport.
Yeah, she is. Hi, Michelle. I know you're listening. Hi. That's the end of the good movie and the bad movie.
It is.
But we will be back with the top 5 musical moments in horror movie history.
Yeah. Got some good ones.
Yeah. No Grease. No Rent.
Nope.
No Singing in the Rain.
Maybe Singing in the Rain.
But not the traditional way.
Right.
We'll be back after this. In 2016, God couldn't get the job done. So maybe it's time that you give the other guy a try.
Satan.
Is that the other guy?
Yeah.
I thought it was Howie Mandel.
He's the third guy.
He's a third guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this time, we're talking about Satan.
Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. February 4th, Postmortem is going live once more. This time at Cal Poly University in San Luis Obispo, California, we are having a demonic double feature. We're showing Kenneth Anger's Invocation of My Demon Brother, one of the first truly satanic films ever made, followed by, sponsored by the man himself, Lucifer Valentine's Regurgitated Sacrifice.
We have the blessing from the greatest modern horror director of all time, bar none. If you don't agree, fuck you.
Eat a mouthful of puke.
Eat a mouthful of Hank Skinny's puke.
This event is being sponsored by Anti-Racist Action, Antifa, Cal Poly Students for Quality Education, Postmortem, and the Cloven Hoof Society. What is that? You'll have to find out later.
You gotta be in the know to know, bro.
That's right.
If you don't know, maybe you can't afford it. It's like a ZJ.
That's right. So come on out. Come out to our event. Come watch some fucked up cinema with us. Come learn a little bit about the satanic history of film. And hopefully we'll offend a few people.
Yes, we did. Especially, they're gonna have that fucking douchebag Milo come and speak on campus.
The Tuesday before our event, he's coming out.
He is. And in protest, that's why this event is gonna happen.
Yep.
They want to say free speech is why they let these fucking Nazi fuckers spew their shit all over the local college.
If they want free speech, we'll give them free speech.
We'll give them free speech, and that's a grown man puking up a baby leg in a blender repeatedly and drinking it.
Puking into a severed skull and drinking it and puking it and drinking it, puking it back and forth forever.
I'm gonna, we're gonna get back into some postmortem after I get this octopus and put it on my head. That was a great sound effect.
Yeah.
We've talked about the limited budget for sound effects, but I think we can afford one more of those. And now back to some more postmortem.
And we're back!
With the top 5 musical moments in all of horror cinema.
Cinema. This one was actually a pretty fun list.
It was.
And I did some research on it and came up with some stuff and came up with some stuff that I haven't seen yet. So I might have some. There's some movies that I actually avoided because they were. It turns out that they're not what I thought they were. So I'm going to go back and watch these movies that I've avoided all over the years because I thought they were just shitty musicals.
I have a lot of honorable mentions and a good top 5 list, but all of it came from my head, and some of it's pretty mainstream. But some of my honorable mentions, it's a little deep, but I'm pretty happy with my list. So I'll start us off with my number 5. It's Hip to Be Square, Huey Lewis in the News from American Psycho.
Nice.
Not only was it so revolutionary, blah, 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 as he's cutting this promo to the woman on the couch and gearing up with his fucking protective rain gear as he splits her head with an axe.
Yeah.
Or no, it was a dude.
It was a dude,
friend,
yeah. It was his secretary. He went behind her with a nail gun, but then didn't kill her.
Yeah. It was the friend. It was Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Paul Allen. Yeah, I fucking loved American Psycho, and that with that whole promo he cuts with the fucking Hoop-Dee score playing. Horrible song,
right?
You know, and he's so fucking
and
happy.
That's the point.
And his dance, you know, he's like this badass guy, but he does this fucking weird little dance.
Yeah.
And finally, he gets so mad. Hey, Paul! Ah! With the axe and just fucking splits his head open. Awesome.
It was that scene that sold me on the movie. I was unsure of it until that scene happened, and then I was boom. I'm in.
That sold me on Christian Bale, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that he's kind of a prick, but dude can act.
He may beat his mother within an inch of her life in a Kmart parking lot, but
he sure can
really. He sure can dance
just,
to some Huey Lewis.
That's just locker room talk.
Yeah, that's all locker room talk. Beating your mother up.
Show me one man who hasn't beaten his mother in a Kmart parking lot.
I'll show you a man who's a liar if he says that.
As a matter of fact, on my way home, I'm just going to swing by my parents' house and punch my mom in the face.
I'm going to drive 6 hours down south to my mom, and I'm going to cut her in the face with an axe.
I kind of cringed a little just saying that because, like, if I ever actually punched my mom in the face, she would kill me. Yeah. My mom is so much scarier than my
Your mom could probably beat you up.
Yeah, she's aggressive. I know her weaknesses.
She's like a rabid Wolverine, Mean Jane.
My number 5 is the Freebird slow motion final sequence in The Devil's Reject.
It's so good.
Yeah. You know, the first time I saw it, I hadn't had a whole lot of exposure to exploitation movies at that point.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it.
Something new to you then at that point.
And I didn't like it because it confused me. I'm like,
you thought it was a horror movie, but it's not.
Well, I liked the movie, but I didn't like that scene. That scene confused me. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And then you go back and watch I Spit on Your Grave, and you watch all these movies that have these just like drawn out slow motion sequences set to music. And I go back and watch it now, and I'm like, that's fucking genius.
To me, it's the best. It's the best of the drawn out sequences because
it's the pinnacle of them. Like,
yeah.
He studied all of those drawn out sequences, and I think he probably built his whole movie around that scene.
House of 1,000 Corpses is my favorite one of his movies, but the Devil's Rejects is the best one of his movies.
In terms of cinematography.
In terms of actual movie.
Like technical.
I love House of 1,000 Corpses more, and then Devil's Rejects might be the best, but it gets a little hairy after that.
Right. A little untrimmed.
He's a 1.5 trick pony.
I really like Lords of Salem, but I like that weird sort of hallucinatory.
I like Lords of Salem too, but I hate the Halloween. 31 is a pile of shit. So. All right, my number 4 is Santanico Pandemonium's Dance from Dusk Till Dawn.
Fuck yeah.
Very quiet, just the dance. Selma Hayek looking like $1 million.
Los Lobos snake turning out the music.
Yeah, fucking awesome.
No, that's not Los Lobos. It's Tito and Tarantula turning out the music.
Tito and Tarantula. Yeah. Los Lobos is not the same kind of band.
Right.
But we'll go there. That's Chuy Martinez's theme music is Los Lobos.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Santanico Pandemonium. 1996 Selma Hayek. Fuck, you can't... She's on the fucking pedestal. You can't fucking touch that.
Maybe Rosie Perez.
Perdita Durango, Rosie Perez, because she's the slutty version.
Right.
I'll forgive the bulldog jaw for the dirty talk. You know what I'm saying?
You probably fit a lot of dick in that jaw.
Yeah, I know. Enough to split the profits and make us split a lot of money if you fly me to Denver or whatever.
Exactly. My number 4 is actually from a musical film, but it's a horror film also, called Repo the Genetic Opera. I have a 50-50 relationship with this movie because...
I hate that fucking movie.
Yeah?
I think it's so overrated.
But I love the music and I love the way it's shot and the way it looks. I hate the lyrics. The lyrics are fucking insipid and it takes me out of the movie almost every time I watch it. But there's a scene in there that I really fucking love, and the song is called Blame Not My Cheeks. And it's the song...
Blame Not My Cheeks?
Yeah. Is it still going?
Yeah, we're still going.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to edit that out either. You know,
that's
people are going to
fine.
know you're questioning my abilities.
Hey,
as a producer of this here show.
After the live show, man. After the live show.
That fucking hurts. That hurts.
Did I just twist the knife a little bit?
No, yeah. I fucked up, yeah. You know what? What did you do? You're sitting on the right side operating nothing except for a bottle of water. I had a video production going on. I had a recording production with 2 keyboards, and I got a little confused. I hit the wrong space bar. Okay? Forgive me.
Maybe someday.
This is the last post-mortem show.
You know what we need for the next show? We need a midget for the next live show that can just work those things for us.
On a tiny little keyboard?
Yeah, exactly.
Just like a phone keyboard?
Yeah.
One of those old school, when texting first got popular,
Yeah,
had a little
like
keyboard
the
you can
flip
pull
up,
out.
yeah. I miss those.
It's not the last episode, I forgive you.
Yeah, it's alright.
You didn't apologize. Okay, I forgive you anyway.
I apologize.
I'm the bigger man. I'll forgive you.
Yeah. So
Literally like the fatter man. But...
yeah, I weighed in at 288 today, man. It's time to go on a
Okay,
diet.
you're the fatter man then.
I've got like a foot on you though. So.
Shut up. You don't got a foot on me. How tall are you?
6'2".
6'2". You got 3 inches on me,
I got
bitch.
3 inches on you, yeah.
3 inches and... What's the math on 275 and
13 pounds?
13 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm the fatter man. Fuck! I never win at anything. No, I win at being the fatter man.
Yeah.
God damn it. Just get back to the fucking
I'm gonna get you a trophy that looks like the fat kid from
Just
Sandlot.
get back to the list.
Sandlot trophy. So in this this song, "Blame Not My Cheeks," she's singing about how hot she is and how she's, you know, the most beautiful woman and the best singer and all this, while her face is slowly melting off because she's had too many plastic surgeries.
That's pretty awesome.
And
actually.
it's Paris Hilton playing the part, and they used her to the utmost perfection because they just made her.
They didn't use her for the utmost perfection.
They just had her be her.
No.
And then had her face
that was
fall
not the
off.
utmost perfection. Have you seen her suck a dick?
Okay. The second to utmost perfection. And she's dancing and singing about how hot she is, and her face fell off. Great moment.
Well, I have a better moment.
All right.
And I was looking for it, and you were like, "Oh, can you pause the recording? You were whining like, but I couldn't find it." Low, Demon Girl.
Yeah.
Demon Girl. That song. And I'm going to patch it in right here.
Right there.
Because guess what? I got the post I'm going to delete. I'm going to make you look like a fucking asshole instead of me.
Okay. That's fine. Whatever.
Low, Demon Girl.
Yeah.
What a fucking awesome song. They're like at a high school prom with a demon singing with a demon band.
Yeah, it's all 1950s
You were
style.
born. And we used this at the closing of one of our episodes. You know?
Yeah.
Was it Demons or what was it? Devils and Demons? I think I put it.
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, I think I put them on there. The old school, like, H.P. Lovecraft style Nazi demon.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Kind of like a Michael Jackson Nazi demon.
He is, yeah. It's the Michael Jackson fucking jacket, but with the Nazi armband. And he's got, like, tentacles coming off his face. And
Yeah.
Good song.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll use it at the end. No, we have other plans.
Yes, we have excellent plans.
I'm not really mad at you, just so you know.
I was concerned. Number 3 is from Cannibal the Musical, and it's the redux of Let's Build a Snowman, the second time they sing the song. Because the first time they sing Let's Build a Snowman, you know, it's all happy and like, we're out in the forest and it's snowing and it's all awesome. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, hey, he wants to build a snowman because he's a happy guy. Then the second time they sing it, everything's fucked up. They're starving. They're all about to die. And the dude's like, what are we about to do? And the guy's losing his mind. Let's build a snowman! And then they pull out the gun and cap him in the head before he can even get into the song.
That was Frozen, right?
Frozen
No.
stole it, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Frozen.
Yeah, that's
not
it.
the plot of Frozen. I've been given the wrong positive reviews and stars on IMDb.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've
Been
been
showing the
like-
wrong movie to your kids.
I love the part where they eat each other in Frozen.
You're not talking about the lesbian porn parody of Frozen, are you?
I'm not talking about live action hentai either. Okay, my number 2. Trash. It's party time. Return of the Living Dead. 45 Grave.
Yeah.
When she gets all naked on the fucking tombstone.
It has no vagina.
and has no vagina, and the acid rain comes. What a great fucking scene.
Yeah.
As a young man,
Oh, yeah.
we had Quigley's got some nice ass boobies.
Oh, yeah. Top shelf. Top shelf.
Top shelf. Top rack. But yeah, party time.
Yeah, it's a very special moment.
It is.
For a young man.
It's iconic too. It's very weird. If you gauge it, like, if some girl started dancing like that, like, we were sitting, that would be kind of weird, right? In the graveyard and stuff. But, the reaction of the people to where they're like semi-dancing too. And
Yeah.
they got the boombox. You know, the guy who shits too many enchiladas in Friday the 13th has a boombox.
Figures he would.
I love it though. That's
Yeah.
my number 2.
My number 2 is the hillbilly rap narration in Dead and Breakfast.
I love Dead and Breakfast.
Yeah. And that, the guy's got a banjo, he looks like a backwoods redneck, and he's rapping, and he's holding the story together.
I have told a lot of people about that movie. I've loved it for years. I didn't even fucking think about it. It's not even a fucking honorable mention.
Oh.
I feel defeated
It's a
right
deep
now.
pull.
I feel defeated.
You feel
Dead
like,
and Breakfast. If you guys watch one movie in 2017, let it be Dead and Breakfast.
Yeah. Like, there are really only a handful of people I know who've even heard of that movie. You and the people that I watched it with.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so underrated.
Yeah. And it's probably a movie that a lot of people avoid because it's got kind of a silly title. But, God, it's fucking good.
It's a great horror comedy. This is how horror comedy is done right. Last week, I reviewed Attack of the Lederhosen Zombies as a zombie horror comedy. I said, fuck, it's been played out. If Dead and Breakfast was released nowadays, I'd still give it a 10.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've had Shaun of the Dead, we've had all this shit. That was way different than any of those.
Yeah,
It's
very
so
unique.
much better. Better than Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Better than, it's
For
so
sure.
underrated. Better than Zombieland.
For sure.
Better than the fucking Scouts of the Galaxy and whether Guardians of the Zombie Apocalypse and the Scouts of the Galaxy and the...
And Iron Man and the Hulk.
It's better than Iron Man. It's better zombie horror comedy than Iron Man,
Yeah.
X-Men.
Better zombie horror comedy than Bridges of Madison County.
Fuck Bridges of Madison County. That got shit on Dead and Breakfast.
Yeah.
Titanic, minimal.
Yeah.
Medium.
Not
I
even-
give
not
it
even-
4 out of 10 as
Yeah.
a zombie horror comedy.
Yeah, for sure. Number 1.
Draw me like your French girls.
Eat me like
Right
your
now.
French girls.
Don't you see the way I'm sitting? I want you to draw me like your French girls.
I'll sketch you out right now. So my number 1 is not a deep pull, but it's probably one of the most musical, iconic moments in horror, and that's 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You.
Yeah.
There would be it would be remiss if this didn't end up on a list. Even it should be probably a 0, but I mean, even people who've never seen the movie know that song. And the little girls with the jump rope and the rhyme and all of it, it's just perfect for what it is.
My number 1? Yeah. You know about that saxophone? Tim Capello, I still believe. The change,
Yeah.
the tanning and the change,
And the oil and the ponytail.
and the ponytail,
And the oily ponytail.
and the saxophone.
You said that this wasn't going to get greasy. It got greasy.
And he's still playing it live.
He is.
He's touring with
He's
it
still
at horror
pumping his
conventions.
hips.
It's the best horror moment of all time.
Fuck
And it
yeah.
has nothing to do with the movie.
No.
Just they decided to include this shirtless man with his saxophone and his chains, but he still believes.
He does.
And I still believe too.
I still believe.
I always will believe.
I will. I'll always believe in Tim Capello.
Yeah.
Apparently, Billy tried to get this guy for when we did that show.
No, he got the other guy that's on my honorable mentions of the Cry Little Sister.
Oh, is that what he was going
He got
for?
the wrong guy.
Okay.
This guy would have done it.
Yeah, because I think I wanted like $5,000. I still believe.
This is my Still Believe dance.
Yeah.
You can't see it on the recording.
I still believe. I want Glenn Danzig to sing this song.
I do. That'd be the best cover they ever did.
You know, he's doing it out. He's doing cover albums now, like Johnny Cash.
I know. He did Elvis too. But that's my number 1. Still Believe.
Glenn Danzig, cover this song.
I've been in a cave for 40 days. That's the opening line.
Yeah,
Well, you'd be dead.
he could live off his own oil, man.
You must be a vampire.
That's like food and water, all in one, all in his body oil.
Hopefully that recording of my phone playing the song came across in the podcast. Otherwise, we just
What the
wasted.
fuck are they talking
We
about?
just wasted a lot of time. I'm just gonna patch it in,
Yeah.
but I still believe. I always will. That's what he's playing now. He has a new single. You know what it's called?
I still believe.
No, I still believe. It's the new song. I still believe.
I wonder why nobody's ever done a mashup of that song and Don't Stop Believing.
My biggest regret is that at my wedding, he did not play that song.
I'll tell you what, if I ever get married again, I'll walk down the aisle to that song.
So my wife set the budget and all the stuff for our wedding. We had all these nice decorations, and we had the best minister that money could buy. But the fact of the matter is that I would have flown in Tim Kimpella from where the fuck he lives to have him play that saxophone.
I mean, he works for
as I walk
like
down,
$200 in an 8-ball of cocaine. You know,
some of that tanning rub they do when they do bodylifting competitions.
Yeah.
I would have had him play that song live on his saxophone. You know, when he tours, it's just him with the saxophone, and they play the rest on the background. There's no drums or anything.
Canned music.
Yeah, yes. But it's just him and his saxophone and vocals live. And I would have paid our whole wedding budget on that. Yeah. We got married in a cardboard box in the alley. Tim Capella would have been there. And we would have played that song.
Got married in a 7-Eleven parking lot with Tim Capella playing.
Yeah. And when he played that song, it would have been on my entrance.
Yeah.
Which is the beginning of the wedding, right?
Right.
Like, before the bride comes out, all stuff like that. Like, we had a patch in the Here Comes the Bride music after the fact.
And it's like the Muzak version. It's like general crappy MIDI.
I would have done the whole time I would have been humping in the air as I walked down the aisle to that song. Complete with a backflip at the end.
You should just start entering to that song.
I think I will.
For the remainder of your career.
I will.
Just enter to that
However
song.
long I got, I still believe.
Yeah.
That's why it's my number one.
That's excellent. Well, you didn't think of Dead and Breakfast. I didn't think of Tim Capello. So
I won. I win.
And honorable mentions. I only got 3. Singing in the Rain, Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, not a horror movie, but horrific.
The Stuck in the Middle with You torture scene from Reservoir Dogs.
Again, not a horror movie, but horrific. 2 exploitation movies.
Yep.
I would classify that as an exploitation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's worthy of being talked about in this here podcast.
Yeah. And another one that's actually just an entire episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer called Once More with Feeling, where one of them finds some kind of demonic oracle.
Singing episode?
Yeah.
You were talking about before? Yeah.
Wishes the world was more like a musical and everyone got a happy ending. So this demon shows up and turns the world into a musical, but as you start getting more and more into the musical, you can't stop dancing and you can't stop singing, and then you burst into flames and you die.
A world where everyone gets a happy ending is where I want to live.
Exactly, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of Chinese hookers in this world.
Yeah, for real. Working at Burger King, working at Walmart, gas
Would
station.
you like extra fries? Happy ending?
You know what, though? Like, if you had to, like, go out and run errands for a day, like, by the 3rd stop, you'd be like, no more. All depleted.
Honorable mentions for me. Dale! He's a Dale!
Actually, had a bit of an echo on that. Were you channeling ghosts?
And you want to watch Postmortem. You want to listen to us.
Yeah.
You want to be with us.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
And Michael Keaton.
Holy Moses from Hard Rock Zombies. Have you ever seen Hard Rock Zombies?
I've not seen Hard Rock Zombies.
I have the VHS tape.
Nice.
It never made it to DVD. You need to see it, dude.
Okay.
Hard Rock Zombies. There's a musical moment that involves evil dwarves, werewolf women, mute sex fiends, and Hitler.
I'm sold.
I'm going to give you that.
Yeah?
It's fucking funny. The old God speech from Sacrifice from the Gate.
Yeah.
You know, the little kid, the little nerdy kid in the gate?
Yeah.
With playing the record. That's a fucking awesome musical moment.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead, the White Lions DJ breakdown. When they get all drunk and go back to the house and start breaking shit.
Yeah.
Ernest Scared Stupid when he dances with the troll. At the end. It's very romantic music. It's a musical moment.
Yep.
The other one from Lost Boys, Cry Little Sister. Jaws, the shark theme in Jaws.
Yeah.
That creates a good tension. You know, that's what made that movie. If they didn't have that music, I don't think Jaws would be as iconic.
It'd be boring,
as it is. Yeah. So, have you ever seen Turbulence 3?
No. I haven't seen Turbulence 1 or 2 either.
Turbulence 3 is about a metal band who performs the first ever live heavy metal concert on a plane. And it's like a parody of Cradle of Filth. This guy's name is Slade Craven.
Okay.
He's like a parody of Danny Filth.
Okay.
He looks like him
Danny
and everything like
Filth
that.
is a parody of himself, so that's gotta be good.
And they go and perform on a live show on a plane that's going. A jet, like a big ass jet, you know? And he pulls a gun out and takes everyone hostage.
Okay.
Because he's going to do what he's going to do. But he's not the real Slade Criven! The real Slade Criven is in the fucking stowaway compartment. They tied him, bind him, and who do you think is going to save the day?
Keanu Reeves?
No, Slade Criven.
Oh. I guess that's a good second.
Slade Criven, played by Keanu Reeves!
So are there 2 other Turbulence movies, or is this just called Turbulence 3?
No, there's 2 other. The first one has Ray Liotta.
Nice. Oh, really?
It's a good one. Yeah, El Ray Liotta in the first one. You should watch Turbulence 1 at least.
Yeah.
Turbulence 2 is ungodly. Turbulence 3 is good in the fact of like a good bad movie.
Right.
Where it's fucking horrible.
It's got an evil metal band. Like,
it's an evil. No, they're not evil. And he shoots the drummer too. He like takes over the plane and shoots the drummer right away. And goes, "I'm taking over now." Well, obviously you're the lead singer.
Yeah. That's like killing like the director of HUD and thinking you're in charge of the United States now.
That's true. Singing in the Rain, Clockwork Orange, like you said. Feed My Frankenstein by Alice Cooper in Friday the 13th Part 6. When he comes out, Jason's there in the fucking RV. He kills a girl, he comes out, and the song's playing, it slowly shows him the rearview mirror walking, and they fucking crash the RV. I love that shit. So that's my favorite Friday the 13th by far, is Jason Lives.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Deathgasm. The zombie-inducing band practice.
Yeah.
The Psycho shower murder scene with Janet Leigh from Psycho. Pretty good, right?
Yeah,
that's
sure.
iconic music. A couple real performances of bands in horror movies. Bruiser and the Misfits.
Yeah.
Hellraiser, Motorhead.
Yeah.
Dream Warriors, Dokken. And then my last honorable mention. The Leprechaun Rap.
I was waiting for it. That's why I didn't put it on my list.
I'm going to close it out with the Leprechaun Rap.
Yeah.
Lep in the Hood, come to do no good. Come to do no good. That's it for the musical moments.
That was good. That was no good. It was up to no good.
It was up to no good in the hood.
Awesome. Well, on that note,
Note. Musical note.
Yeah.
You got puns.
Like puns for seconds.
You're very punny.
Yeah. As H.P. Lovecraft once said, as he was tuning up the band, if it smells like fish,
throw the fucker back.
I had the time of my life. I swear it's so
Please, without any further ado, give a big Mad Monster Palooza party welcome to the one and only Tim Capello!
but I still believe. This road, I'll find the skill all night if I have to. I'll take my place upon this street. I'll wait till the end of time for you like everybody else. Like everybody else. Like a wall, what do I feel? So what do I know? But I still believe, 'cause I still believe. Through the shame, and through the grief, through the heartache, through the tears, through the rain, and through the years, for people like us, in places like this. We all hope we can get, but I still believe.